Yeah. So first, we'll see that how we can able to create a CICD pipeline for this code quality for the build and how we can deploy the application in the Tomcat server. So this is nothing but my software development team. And here we have the GitHub repository. So the software development team, they are going to push the code into the GitHub repository. As we know that we have a different code repositories. We have we have a Bitbucket, we have a GitLab. So depends on the client requirement, we are going to use different code repositories. So many of you guys know that we are going to use majorly about the Bitbucket repositories, which is the private repositories. Now, once we have the source code, now what we can do, we can't trust the software development team because we don't know that where they're trying to get the code, right? So this is what we can call as a source code management tool. And here that we don't know about where they're getting the code. So they're getting the code from their or they're going to writing logic, or they're trying to get code from the by using ChatGPT, are they going to get the code from the Google? Because whenever they're trying to build or their loan logic, there are certain standards which we have to follow when you're trying to write a code. So when you're trying to implementing logic for any application, there are some code standards which we have to follow that. And without follow the standards of the code, we'd say that is a poor code, poor code. Now we have to check that how we are going to check the code quality. So for example, if they have implemented the I mean say 5,000 lines of code, it is very difficult for us to understand about each and every line of code, right? So now we have to understanding about the how we can able to check the code quality with help of the DevOps tool. Like we have a tool, it is called a SoanrQube server, which is basically going to check the code quality. So you may ask the question, so how the SoanrQube server is going to check the code quality? Inside the SoanrQube server, it is having the server and it is having a scanner. See, in the server, we are having different kind of rules, set of rules. See, it is going to support the 29 programming languages. 29 programming languages. Whenever you are going to use any of the programming languages, that means you may use the Java programming languages, you may use the Python, or you may use Go language, or what are the programming languages which you are going to use, and you are going to write the code. Every programming languages, it has a set of rules. I'll show you that how to configure the server. In that, I'll show that how we can able to check these particular rules, everything. See, SoanrQube is a self-managed automatic code review tool that is systematically help you deliver the clean code. So it is basically to check the code quality, to identify the vulnerabilities in your application. I would say the source code, to identify the code smells in my application, to identify the bugs. So because it's a very important that we have to identify the vulnerabilities each and every DevOps stage. So when you're discussing about CICD pipelines, actual classes, I'll tell you that each and every stage, how we can able to check the micro services vulnerabilities, everything by using this particular trivy here. We have trivy, and there are some different tools are there for the security concern to check the vulnerabilities. Now, at the part of the code quality, we are going to discussing about the SoanrQube server. So SoanrQube is a self-managed automatic code review tool that systematically help you to deliver the clean code. So now we'll see that how we can able to check the code quality. So when you look at this, images and architecture of the SoanrQube server, as I said that it is having the something it is called as a scanners. The basically it contains the scanner. It is going to be check the code quality. So because it is going to scan the entire source code what you are trying to provide to your SoanrQube server. If you want to understand this, look at here. This is nothing but the programming language that is supported by my SoanrQube server. And you look at here, there is a code analysis through the Sonar scanners. See, for example, if I go to hospital, for example, I have a stomach pain, a stomach ache. If we go to meet any doctor, they will tell that we have to scan first to identify that what is there inside your stomach, why you are getting this pain. Is there any infection is going to be happen? Everything you want to check that first, they will ask you to take a scan. For example, if I met with an accident, if something is, let's for example, my hand is got broken. To identify that, to identify the place where exactly the bone it is got broken, so we have to go with the scan it is. The same way, if you want to check the rules, and we have to check that, scan the code. We have to completely scan the entire source code to identify that we have any vulnerabilities or not. So how we can say that this is a vulnerability, this is a code smell, because they have predefined the rule set which is available in the SoanrQube server. So this is now we have to understanding about what is the SoanrQube server. Basically, with help of the SoanrQube server, we are going to check the code quality. If I'm going faster, if anyone feel that I'm going too much fast, you guys can let me know. That is absolutely fine. You can tell me through the chat or we can raise your hand. That is absolutely fine. Okay, now we have done with the code quality. So once we have done with the code quality, now we have to deploy this. I mean, say before you deploy the application, we have to build the application. See why we have to build the application. Building it is nothing but the entire source code we have to create in a package. It is what we can call as an artifact. For example, if we go to Java programming languages, we use Maven to build those artifacts. It may be that war files, or it may be a different kind of artifacts you are going to get it. So when I go to the SoanrQube server, it's going to check the code quality. Now, when I want to build the package, I want to go to the option called as a Maven here. See, Maven, it is nothing but it is a build tool for the Java applications. Like every programming languages, it has their own build tools. For example, if I go to the Node.js, we have NPM. If I go to the Python, we have PyPI. If I go to the .NET, we have MS Build. Like every programming languages, we have different build tools. The job of the Maven, it is nothing but to convert the source code into the artifacts, or it is going to convert into the mission readable format. That is what the job. Now, once you build the package, now this package, what we can say, we have to deploy in a Tomcat server. So we'll see that how we can able to deploy this application inside the web server. That is nothing but a Tomcat. This is what we can call as a application server. So now we'll deploy this application inside my Tomcat server. Deploy the application in a Tomcat server. Now, when you want to perform this, the continuous integration, continuous deployment, what we have to mention, we have to mention the Jenkins, right? I'll just try to search for Jenkins here. Okay. Now, with help of the Jenkins, what we'll do it, we are going to creating a CI/CD pipelines. That means the moment when the software development team has the push the code into my GitHub repository, so we have to take that code and we have to send it for the SoanrQube to check the code quality. So everything it is doing my automatically by the Jenkins server. So we don't need to do that manually. Whenever there is something it has got happened. For example, when I just go to here, here we can just look at here. This is my Jenkins server. So when I go to my Jenkins server, the Jenkins server is going to, when the push it has happened, my Jenkins server will pull that code. It's send it for the code quality. Once it is done with the code quality, it is going to send it for the build it is. And once the build it is done, it is going to be deploy this application inside the Tomcat server. So this is a kind of pipeline which we are going to we are going to create in today's session. Okay. So Git is already installed in my system. And let me just configure my SoanrQube server. So whenever you want to become a DevOps engineer, so it is very important that how to configure the servers, because DevOps engineers are not going to work in a software development team. So we are the, like in a mediator, I can say, they're going to combine the software development in the operations team, right? So when you create this kind of CI/CD pipelines as a DevOps engineer, the moment when the software development team has pushed the code, will know that what is the defects inside my source code, so that you're trying to communicate to software development team, you're telling that fix these issues first before you move on to the next stage of this particular, I can say the DLC model. So once we have done with this code quality, if it is built, it is got failed. So we have to identify that why it is got built, it is failed. So everything it will happen within the fraction of seconds. So the moment when the push the code, automatically it will happen within the fraction of seconds, so that we'll understand that whether how the application is going to work. The application is any kind of errors we are having. So that is a kind of faster the phase of the CI/CD pipelines which you want to create to accelerate the production, to accelerate or to identify the code quality of your applications. Now everything we're going to achieve with help of the Jenkins. Now we'll see that how we can able to create this particular configuration. This all the setup You have to do it by your own as a DevOps engineers. So sometimes when you're going to join as a 3 years experience, 4 experience, they'll not give you the complete access to set up this kind of infrastructure. They'll give you the ready-made infrastructure. They'll ask you to work on the infrastructure on a specific task. But when you have to learn from the scratch as a DevOps engineer, you have to understand about how to set up the networks, how we can able to set the VPC network, how to set up the subnets, how to set up the NAT gateways, whether you want to go with the internet gateway or if you want to go with Elastic IP address, how many you require. So it is everything we have to think it is in perspective of the architecture level. And also DevOps engineers should not follow the process. They have to revisit the process. They have to understand about how we can able to reduce the cost to the organizations. That is the reason they're giving lakhs of salaries to the DevOps engineers. Now, first, what we'll do, we'll install this particular SoanrQube server first. Let me show you that how we can do it now. So let me go to the SoanrQube download it is. If I go to here, the SoanrQube download, let me go to here. So this is the official website which we have to go to this SoanrQube official website. This is nothing but sonarsource.com. It is nothing but my official website of this SoanrQube server. See, we have different versions we are having. Like we have a 10.5 version currently it is got released. And as of the April 2024, you see that we have community edition, developer edition, enterprise edition, data center editions. See, out of this, only community edition it is got free it is. See, Sonar have different plugins. We can integrate with any of the IDEs. When the software development team have written the source code, the moment they want to check the code quality, then they will go with SQLite, the different types of plugins which they release by the SoanrQube server. Now we'll see that how we can do it. So before you're trying to configure any server, go with the documentations. So if you go with the documentations, you have to understand about what is the prerequisites. So understanding prerequisites are very important as a DevOps engineer, because if they've asked you to set up the infrastructure, we should understand about the how many servers, how many CPUs which are required. I want to set up here. If you go to the server installation setup, if you click on the installation requirements, if you click on the overview here, you are going to get the complete documentations. See, it is always the best practices. Go and try to explore the official documentations, because this is prepared by the official people. That means who created this SoanrQube server, that company has created this documentation. Instead of you're going to refer the other website, I always recommended to you guys to explore the official documentations. Here we can see that what is the hardware requirement, what is the software requirement, what is the physical software should be installed on your machines. That everything we have to understand. Let me show that how to configure the server. I'll configure this server in the cloud. Okay, let me log into my AWS account. Let me log into my AWS account. Let me go to this account here. Click on the next. I'm just logging into my server. It may take the 5 to 6 minutes to configure my server. I want to check my billing dashboard, how much it is generate bill. Oh, $15. Okay. Let me go with this now. I have to go to the option name. It is called EC2 service. We have to go to this particular, the service name. It is called as a EC2 service. And we have to configure the server now. So let me go to the instances here. Okay, my cluster is running here. Okay. So let me create one more instance. Click on the launch instance now. Now here we had to mention the name of the instance is called as SoanrQube server. The SoanrQube server. Now come down here. So we had to choose which operating system we have to go. So we can install any of the operating system. Like we can install on the Ubuntu, we can install on the Red Hat, we can install on the Mac OS. So I'll choose the Amazon Linux here. I'll go with the kernel 5.0. It is a free tier eligible. Now go to the instance type. Here we have to think about it. How many number of CPUs which you have to use? See, when you go with this documentation now, see the hardware requirements. See, when you go with the small scale installation, typically commonly for the community edition, developer edition installation supports. See, when you go with this community edition, developer editions, see, it support the 1 million lines of code. That means we can scan that 1 million lines of code of the source code. When you want to go beyond that, we have to go with the we have to go with these different editions, like enterprise editions, we have to go. That is not a free of cost, we have to pay for that. When you go with large scale installation, typically a single node installation of the enterprise edition that support of the 50 million lines of code, which we have to understand. So when you come to here, look, when you go with this requirement, look at this is nothing but RAM. See, we have to go to the 4 GB of RAM and look at here, small scale. If you want to go to larger scale, we require 16 GB RAM and we require 64-bit operating system. And if you go to small scale installation, we require at least 2 CPUs. And when you go to the larger scale, we require 8 CPUs. And which is architecture which you have to choose, like which you have to go with the AMD 64 or x86, whichever you require. And disk space. Disk space is depending on the how much code you want to analyze it. So right now it is 30 GB. It is requesting. And if you go to down, if you just look at here, this is the disk recommendations. And if you come down here, software requirements. See, we need any of the web browser. Why do we need web browser? To access this reports to the web browser, we need Microsoft Edge or Mozilla Firefox. This documentation is not like this. I think recently they updated everything in tables. When you go to Java here, so we have to install the Oracle JRE or OpenJDK, which is Java 17 version it is. See, compatibility is very important. So which version support the which Java version? So if any of the version is not compatible, so we should not go with this one. So we have to go with the Java version. This is what basically we have to understand now. Let's see how we can able to configure your server. So based on this only, we have to choose your server. So it is very important. If we go with my instance type, I'll go to the 2 CPUs and 4 GB RAM. It is not a free of cost. It's going to charge from my pocket. And if we come down, we need a key pair. The key pair, I'll go with the Linux server as my key pair, which is already existed key pair. See, network settings are very, very important. So when I click on the edit now, right now I'm deploying my this server on my default VPC. But when you go with the real-time applications, when you work on the client projects, we never ever deploy any server on the default networks. So we have to create like this VPCs and we have to deploy all the services within this VPC here. Again, when you select the VPC, we have to select whether the server has to be in the public subnet or private subnet. If it is a private subnet, how we can access this server it is. Like everything you'll understand going forward sessions when you're discussing about VPCs, everything. We don't know about VPCs right now. So try to deploy the this server in the default VPC. The security groups I'll talk about later. Security groups basically contain the set of firewalls. How that what traffic you want to redirect to your particular application that will define these particular security groups. Now storage, as our discussion, we require 30 GB it is, right? I'll go to here and mention 30 GB. Now go to the number of instances. I require one instance. Click on the launch instance here. Now you see that your instance is going to be launched or it is got failed because of the freedom limitations. I'll go to the different region. Let me go with the Singapore it is. Okay. I'll go to Singapore and same configuration I'm going to choose it is. Click on the launch instance now. And I'm just going to setting up the SoanrQube server. Now here, if we come down, we have to go with this Amazon Linux now. Here, let me go with this kernel 5.10. And here, come to the instance type it is. I'll go to this nothing but 2 CPUs and 4 GB RAM. After that, we have to go to the key pair it is. The key pair, kickdrum Jenkins, I'm available. And go to the storage. Let me go with the 30 GB it is. Okay. The number of instances we require only one instance. Click on the launch it is. Now go up here. And now we have to click on the view all instances. Now my instance is ready. I have to convert this instance as a SoanrQube server. How we can do it now? We have to execute the set of commands. So I always say that don't worry about what I'm doing in the demo sessions because When the actual classes will start, we'll go with the step-by-step process. I'll train you on Linux. I'll train you on AWS. I'll train you on GCP. I'll train you on DevOps tools. So there's so much stuff which you're going to learn when the actual classes will start. I'm just waiting for my instances get ready. Once my instances get ready, now we'll deploy this SoanrQube server in this Spectre instance. Let me just check now. It is refresh here. It is going to be installation part. It is running status. Let's go to here. Now click on the connect now. When you click on the connect, go to the EC2 at the rate username it is. Now we have to go to this option here. I'll go with the putty. Let me go with the putty server here. Let me connect my server. Go to the Apache server. Appearance, click on this 14 here. Now click on OK. I have to go to the connection here. I have to mention the 60 seconds. Go to SSH, authorization, the credentials, click on the browse. And here we have to go with the kick drum Jenkins is now. Click on the open it is. Now my server is connected here. So go to the type the command called sudo su. After that, I'm trying to updating my operating system. M update -y. You just look at my screen. You are trying to updating your operating system. It is okay. Let's try to updating it is. Now, before I have documented all the commands, let me take you to the commands and we'll configure our server. So nobody will remember the commands. We'll get open source all the commands. Based on this, we'll prepare one documentations and we follow the documentations. But we should know about why we are using what is the reason we are using this all the commands. Let me go to my server. I think it is now updated. Now what I can do, let me close all these things. Just 1 second. DB server. Let me go to this now. And this is also we required. Okay, now it's perfect. Now first we have to understand about how to configure this server. The first you have to become a root user. So whenever you want to execute any command in Linux terminal, definitely you have to become a root user. So you are already become a root user. You see that sudo su. Now after that, we have to go to the opt directory where we can able to install the additional packages. Okay. So before that, try to install the Java it is. So as I mentioned, it is a dependency for your server. We have to go to here and try to install the Java. It is because see now it is mine. It is Amazon Linux server. See, whenever you choose different servers, say for example, when I choose the Red Hat server, it has different packages. Like whenever you use different OSs, different packages will support it is. Now we have to install the OpenJDK 11 for Amazon Linux here. I have to install this OpenJDK 11 version. Let me go to this now. Let me get this package OpenJDK 11 version. Let's go to here. Here, yes, let me go to this command. It is. Let's go to here and right click. Now hit the enter. This package also it is unable to find it. Let me open JDK 11. One second. Let me take this package. Let me go to this. Okay. It is trying to installing all dependencies in Java. If you just type the command called java --- version, you see that which version we installed. The OpenJDK 17 version we installed. It is LTS, long-term support. Now, what is the next option it is? Now we have to go to the OP directory and we have to, whenever you're trying to install additional packages in Linux here, we have to go with this OP directory. So OP directory, it is nothing but system directory where we can able to install additional packages. After this, we have to install this wget package. I mean to say we have to install this wget and unzip commands, because whenever you want to download any packages from the Google, we require something, it is called a wget has to be installed. See, some softwares, I mean to say, if you go with Linux by default, it will get it. But when you go with the Red Hat server and all, you don't find these packages, wget and unzip commands. You have to download manually here. So I'm trying to download this SoanrQube server right now. It is a zip package. So even if you want to download it, we have to go to this option and we'll see that. Now we have to go with the zip file it is. Now type the ls command. You see that this is nothing but zip file we are having. Now we are trying to extract. I mean, say we have to unzip this file. Whenever you want to unzip, we have to use a command called unzip command, and we have to hit the enter. You see, you are going to extracting all the files. So whenever you want to go with the latest version also, if you go to the SoanrQube server documentation, and if you go to download here, okay. See, when we have to download, see we have this option called as a community download free it is. When you click on this download for free, you see that it is going to provide the link. If you just provide the link, so when just copy the link and paste what exactly I'm doing, it is the same it is. So here don't require to go to the entire link. So up to the zip we have to copy and we have to download this particular link it is. Okay. It is going to download the latest version it is. Or else if you go to here and if I go to download for free, go to right click and copy the link address. That is also fine. See that it is going to be download the zip file. So same thing, we have to go with this official documentations and we have to fetch that the whichever the link which we requires. Okay. Now we download this and we have unzip this file. Let me go to rename this particular folder. So we don't require to rename it. So that's absolutely fine. If I go to my server, right click now, hit the enter. See, we have to, it is asking about, sorry, I don't want to do it. I'm just click on no here. So once again, yes, no, all, none, rename it is. Let me go with the none here. Okay, I have to rename it is. Already we extracted all the files. Let me go to the mv command. So now we have already renamed the folder. Now we have to see that how we can able to run this particular server. See, whenever you're trying to install any of the servers, you may use, like for example, you're trying to install Docker, you're trying to install Nexus server, or you're trying to install Jenkins server. You set up any kind of servers on Linux machines, definitely we have to create one user account. So it is always best practice that we should not run any of the server as a root. So as a good security practice, the SoanrQube server is not advised to run a SoanrQube server as a root. So we had to create a new user called as a Sonar here. So we have to go with the user add Sonar. Let me go to now here, user add Sonar. So that means we're creating one user account. Whenever you create any user account by default, it doesn't have the root privileges. So we have to provide the root privileges. Let me go to my server and let me provide the root privileges. Va sudo, press I button. So when you just come down here, we have to come to the root. Okay. This is nothing but my root user. Here I have to provide this particular. Sudo means you are giving all the permissions. Sudo file means in the sudo file, whichever the user you want to give the root privileges, we have to give it. See, by default, root user have all the permissions. See that? Allow root to run any commands anywhere. I'm just going to provide this access now. Escape : wq it is. That is done. Next step it is we have to change the owner and group permissions. When you go to here, and I just want to change the owner and group permissions. Let me change to the Sonar to Sonar. And here I'm just going to change the ch mode. And here I had to provide the SoanrQube server. After that, I'm just going to become a Sonar user it is. su-sonar. Here, let me go to here. And after that, I had to go inside the bin directory. See, wherever you install this particular server, if I, for example, if I go inside the bin directory, you see that there is a ls command. Here we have, if I install Linux terminal, we have to go to this option. If we install on Mac OS, we have to go with this folder. If we install Windows platform, we have to go to this folder, because whenever you want to start your SoanrQube server, we have the shell scripting file, which is ready-made available inside my this directories here, and we have to run this shell scripting files. When you type the ls command, we see that we have shell scripting file. So how we can able to start your shell scripting file? So we have to use /sonar.sh file, and we are going to pass the parameter called as start command. That means you are going to starting the SoanrQube server. You see that your SoanrQube server starting SoanrQube server started here. Now we want to access this application to the web browser. So now whenever you install any Linux servers, we have to access the web browser. SoanrQube server by default, it will work on port number 9000. Now go to my instance ID. I have to open this port in the inbound rules. Go to security, and here go to security groups, and here we have to go to edit inbound rules. Here we have to click on the add rule, go to this alt TCP here, and you want to accept, and we want to access anywhere. So click on this anywhere IP4 and click on the save rules. So I'm just open all the ports, or if you want to specifically open only 9000, that is also we can do it. Now go to this public IP address, and here I'll go with the new browser. See, whenever you want to access any applications which you are installed on your Linux servers, we have to go with the public IP address. So when I go to this 9000 is nothing but my SoanrQube server, check whether you are able to accessing or not. See, it is asking about the default username password. So I have to mention the admin, okay, and go with this admin again it is. Now click on the login. Your login to your server it is. So it is asking to reset your password. Let me reset my password. This is nothing but my old password. The new password which I'm going to configure now. Okay. Let's go to the 2024. Confirm password also we had to mention the 2024 here. Now we have to update this particular password. Click on the update now. You see password is updated right now. Now this is nothing but my SoanrQube server. As I said that it is having the different rules, right? Where it will available. See, as of now, I don't have any projects. Issues also, we don't have any issues. If we go to rules, it doesn't, it is the rules contains. See, when I go to programming or languages called Java, Java has 626 rules available. This is predefined rules, which is set by the SoanrQube server administrators. See, whenever this function is not matching, it is look at here, it goes to the bug. Look at the categories here. If I go to issues now, we have different categories, like we have bugs, vulnerabilities, code smells, blockers, critical errors, major errors, minor errors. Depends on these rules. Whenever this rule is not met here, it will go to this particular category it is. Now we have to go look at here. This should be used to static context. If it go to this one, it will go to code smell. If this rule is not met, it will go to the bug it is. If this rule is not met, it will go to the code smell. Like that, depends on the rules. So for example, if I use Python, it is, look how many rules we are having. 206 rules are there. Deprecated means they're removed from the list it is. It is not applicable for your programming languages. Like that, there are 29 programming languages support my SoanrQube server. Okay. Now we'll see that how we can able to check the code quality. For this, how we can able to design your pipelines. So whenever you want to design the pipelines, first what we require, as per the diagram, we require something, it is called as a Jenkins server. Now we have done with your SoanrQube server. Now we have to set up your SoanrQube server, Jenkins server. Let me check whether my Jenkins server is already configured. See, let me go to here and I'll check this. Go to this. Yesterday we have seen that how to configure Jenkins server on the Linux machines. We'll see something different in today's session. I want to access the Jenkins server. Check whether it is available or not. So if it is not available, go to here, Jenkins download, and we have to go with the software documentation. It will not take much time. See, what is the version currently we are having? 2.452.lts. So we have to always go to the LTS. There are different ways we can configure Jenkins server. We can go to Docker, we can go to Kubernetes, we can go to Ubuntu, we can go to Red Hat. See, right now we want to install on the Windows. Yesterday we have seen how to install on the Amazon Linux server. Now I'm going to download this particular war file. Let me try to install it. Let me go to here. I'm trying to install this Jenkins server. Let me prepare the install. Click on next now. Click on next again. We have to go the run server as a local system. Click on next. It will work. By default port number is 8080 and 8080 I'm running my Apache Tomcat server. So I'm changing the port number. We can change any port number. We can run your server on 1265535. This is the port range. But in that 021024 port numbers are got reserved. We should not use those port numbers. Now click on the test port number. This is available now. Click on the next here. Now it will work on by the Java. Dependent software it is Java. Click on next here. Click on next. Click on install. See, whenever you are going to install the Jenkins server, SoanrQube server, Tomcat server, Nexus servers, all these servers are work on top of the Java. So we have to install Java. Without installing Java, we can't able to run your servers. So now right now, my Jenkins is installing right now. Click on the finish. Now my Jenkins server is got installed, right? Now what we can do, we have to access my Jenkins server. Go to the local host. We have to mention the port number, it is 9080. Check whether you are able to accessing or not. It may ask you to, yes, it is going to be loading right now. My Jenkins is going to be getting ready to work. So once we have done with Jenkins installation, we'll see that how we can able to set up the we'll see that how we can able to set up the CICD pipelines. Okay, let me go to this now. Still it is loading it is. Let me the refresh. Let me just check now with yes. Now it is asking the password. Where is the password? We have to copy this. Go to the new browser. Now hit the enter. You get the password. Copy this one. Go to your sign in. Permit password. Now click on the continuities. You see that? It will ask you to install the plugins. I'm just go with the certain plugins. Will take 2 to 3 minutes. It should be a network. Should be a faster. Otherwise, you're going to get a lot of plugin failures. Let me go to here. Let me go now. Just take a moment. So it is a 3 months training program. And if anyone would like to learn the real-time projects, I mean, say we'll teach you real-time projects, but basically when you wanted to work on the client projects, we're going to offer the 3 months internships. It is basically we designed for the people who don't have experience. For example, I passed out this 2015, but I don't want to put the fake. I want to go with the fresher. Then how it is possible? So we'll going to train you guys and we'll give some freelancing opportunities or else we'll try to deploy into the client locations. It is a 3 months internship we'll be providing. It is completely, if you want to come to the offline, it is available in the Bangalore. Or if you guys want to do it on the online also, it is available. But after completing this course, we'll be providing the 3 months internships. It is basically the idea, the motive of this internship is basically for the freshers and those who are having a career gap. For them only we design this internship. If, for example, you are already experienced, you want to learn this completely, we'll be teaching on this 3 months course. So it is going to be 3 months course duration. There is no compromising the duration. It is taking time. It is just going to be installing all dependencies. Once it is got installed, we have to integrate all the tools first. Then we have to integrate tools like Git. We have to integrate Maven. We have to integrate Tomcat server. We have to integrate SoanrQube server. So we'll see that how we can able to do it now. It may not take much time. It may take few minutes. Just configuring. We'll just wait for a minute. So everything we had to learn from the scratch. Then only you can able to understand about how we can able to set up the CICD pipelines. So basically we had to write the Groovy scripting, declarative scripting to create a pipelines. Before that, we had to understand how to integrate these tools because it is a one-time setup. You are not going to set up every time. This is a one-time setup which you have to do it. And we'll see that how we can do it right now. Okay, let me just go to here and try to understand about how to integrate this. Yeah, we had to provide this admin and username passwords. Now here, let me go to here. We just need to provide the any we can set up. I'm just going to set the password. I also will take the password. Take another 10 minutes, and I'll see with creations. Now you ask about the name, the whereas also this one the username. Actually, it's stuck the why. Yeah, done. Now go with this option called save and continue. Now your Jenkins server it is ready. Me go to here. It is got stuck. Let me go to my browser. Think my restore the pages. Now here, so it is asking about the username, admin, the password also admin it is. Look, this is very important steps. This is nothing but how we are trying to access now. Click on the Jenkins ready it is. Okay, here what we can do it. We just need to see about the how we can able to create a pipelines. Now before you go to create pipelines, first we have to go with the manage Jenkins. So when you just go with the manage Jenkins, here we have to go to the option name. It is called as a tools. We have to configure some tools with the Jenkins before you start building your pipeline. The first we need Java to be installed. See, we can able to install the OpenJDK plugin, or else if you want to provide the Java underscore home, it is going to ask you that where Java it is got installed. Say, for example, if Java it is installed on a local machine, that path we can give it here. Let me go with the program files. And here I have to go with the Java. And let me go with the JDK. And here copy the path. So if you are setting up this server on the cloud, once you install Java, it has the path. That path we can provide it is. Why it is taking my system? Because of the storage issue. It is having, okay. Let me go to the program files, go to the Java here. And here we have to go to the OpenJDK. And here we have to provide the path it is. Okay. Let me provide the path. Let me go to this. Right. There is some phishing. 1 second. Let me go to the Java. Now here, let me go with the properties here. Let me copy the path. Oh my God. There is going something. Okay, let me provide this path. Go to my Jenkins server, go to C drive, and first we have to go to the program files. / inside that Java, we have JDK 11 we are having. Let me go to JDK 11. Okay. Okay. Now come down. We have to add the Git. See, Git is already installed in my local machine. So it is going to identify that wherever you configure Jenkins, you have to be installed the Git over there to clone the source code. Now, if we come down, we require the Maven to build. So click on this add Maven. After that, when you come down here, we have to mention the, so Maven _ home. And here we are trying to install automatically Maven by using the 3.9.6 version. Now click on this apply and click on this save it is. Let me save this one. Now we have to integrate SoanrQube server. Now how to integrate now? So everything is plugins in Jenkins. We have to go to the plugins now. Go to available plugin here. I have to install the SoanrQube plugin first. So now go to the Sonar scanner. Click on the install now. You see that it is going to be installed the plugin called Sonar scanner. Now once it is got installed, now we have to integrate the SoanrQube server with the Jenkins. Now how we require it is, see, when you go to your Jenkins server, sorry, SoanrQube server, this is my SoanrQube server, right? Go to the user, administrator, or go to the my account. Here we have to go to security. Here we have to generate token. See, for example, it is for DevOps demo. That is nothing but name of my token I'm going to provide. The token type, it is nothing but global analysis token. Expiration, when it is going to be expired, it will be 30 days, 90 days, or 1 year, no expiration. See, for example, when I give 30 days, click on the generate. There is a one token got generated. It's for authentication purpose. Now copy this token here. Now go to your Jenkins server. We have to keep this token in the credentials. Now where we can do that now? Go to the manage Jenkins. Okay. Now if you come down here, we have to go to the option called credentials now. In the credentials, we have to go to the global. Click on the add credentials. We have to go with this name username. Username of this particular SoanrQube server. We don't have. So we have to go with the kind. In the kind, you can see there is something, it's called secret text. When I go to the secret text now, we have to mention about what is the secret. This is a secret now. What is ID? It is, it could be anything. So I'm just going to provide the SoanrQube. Now, if we go to here, we have to mention the SoanrQube server. Here, if I go to here, click on the description now, click on the create. Now you look at here, the SoanrQube server is got created. Okay. I'm going to say credentials we have saved, token is got saved. The next step we have to go to the next step. The next step we have to configure the SoanrQube server. Go to the system now. If I go to system, you see that you are able to identify the SoanrQube server over there. If we come down, we have to go to the SoanrQube servers. You see that? Click on the add SoanrQube server. And here we have to add the SoanrQube server. Let me go with the name. Your wish, guys, whatever you want to mention. Now we need the SoanrQube server URL. Where you configure the SoanrQube server in this server, right? This is the URL of my SoanrQube server. Now we have to copy this. Now what I can do, I have to go to the server URL. See, server authentication token. Whatever you have, it is a mandatory. When is that mandatory? Now I have to go to SoanrQube server. We have to save this. Now click on this apply, click on the save it is. That means there is a 2 steps done. Now the next step it is go to manage Jenkins. Now go to tools here. See, previously we don't have the Sonar scanner, it is in my tools list. But now you just look at my screen. We'll be having there is option called as Sonar scanner. So it is for installation. Click on the Sonar scanner now. We have to mention the Sonar scanner. Now here we have to go to the option here, like installation. This is a reset. This is going to be installed automatically. Now click on apply and save. That means we have done with the integration of the SoanrQube server, right? Now I have already my Tomcat server running in my system. If we go with the local host 8080, you see that you are able to access my Tomcat server. Now, if you want to integrate Tomcat server, when you want to deploy the applications, we have to install the plugin again. Go to plugin here, available plugin here. We have to deploy something it is called as a deploy to container. This is a plugin we have to install now. Click on the install plugin. You see that it is going to be installed here. We have the install SS server deploy to container loading plugins. Now we'll see how we can able to create the pipeline. Now first we have to go to the manage Jenkins. Go to dashboard now. When you go to dashboard, click on the new item. So whenever you see that, I want to create a Maven pipeline, but I don't see that Maven pipeline in this particular list. Why? Because we haven't installed the Maven plugin in the Jenkins. Go to manage Jenkins now. Now here, if I come down here, we have to go to the option called the tool plugins again. When you go to plugins, see how many plugins I'm installing to integrating. So go to the Maven here. So we have to install the Maven integration, and we have to install the Maven info, and we have to install the Maven invoker. These are the different types of plugins we have to install. Come down here, invoker also we have to install. Now click on the installation part. You see that you're trying to install the plugins over here. Now once it is got installed the plugin, now you are able to see that your it is going to be up and running. Let me go with this plugin. Yes, go to the dashboard again, click on the new item. Now let me create the, let's say for example, DevOps demo and CodeQuality. This is nothing but my pipeline name. Okay, we have to go to the option called as a free trial Maven project. So whenever you want to do it Maven project, we should have the .xml file should available. Now click on OK here. When you click on OK, you are going to get the configuration page of the Jenkins server. See, I'm manually creating a pipeline, but we don't do that. We are going to write declarative pipelines and Groovy scripting pipelines. Now let me go with the SoanrCube management here. We have integration is common. Whenever you want to integrate the when I SoanrCube server, Maven, Git, all the integrations are common. Now we have to provide the code repository. See, there are different applications are available in my GitHub repository. Everything available in my GitHub repository. Go to my GitHub repository here. Okay, here I go to my repositories. Go to your repositories here. Now here we can see that there is something, it is called it as a different repositories. Now I want to find out the repository. So if I go to e-commerce application, it is also Maven application. If I go to the Java, see it is again it is nothing but the Java applications. Now I have to go to this application, it is called as a Maven. So we require a .xml file basically to work with this application. Now here, look, we are having .xml file. Now click on this .xml file. Now click on this, edit this file. Now let me change the URL of my server it is. This is my server URL. I'm trying to copy here. Let me make the changes in this particular URL. If I go to the properties here, we can see that there's SoanrCube server URL. Here we have to make the changes. So now I'm trying to check the code quality by the SoanrQube server. I'm just going to provide the URL and I'm just going to provide the password. Let's click on the commit changes. The changes is got committed. Now we have to take this font XML file. I'm going to say the complete URL of your repository. Go to here, copy that URL and go to your DevOps CICD repository URL. Now here we can just look at my screen that we have to go to this option called as a branches to build. So whenever you're trying to deploy the application in the different environments like dev environment, UAT environment, production environment, we should understanding about which source code you want to send it for this. This is very important branching strategies. Now I want to start the pipeline automatically. I don't want to start pipeline here. Whenever the software development team push the code, we have to trigger automatically. So we'll go with this poll SCM here. Now what I can do, I just given a schedule here. So it is not going to be run this pipeline every time, the moment whatever you are given. For example, if I given 3 minutes, see, it is not going to be execute the pipeline 3 minutes. So based on this commit only, it is going to trigger my pipeline. Now we have triggered, we mentioned about it. Now let me go with the build it is. So when you go to build here, we require a font XML file build application. See now what we can do it. Now we have to provide the goals. When you provide the clean pack, don't worry about commands. So clean package. After that, we have to mention the sonar. Whenever you want to check the code quality, we have to mention the sonar command. So I'm building the package. I'm checking the code quality. Now we have to deploy the application. How we can deploy the application? Once you build here, we got the package. This package we have to deploy inside we have to go to post build actions. Now here we have to go with there is option called as a deploy var or here due to container. So we have to go to this option here. Now here we have to provide the location where it is got available. So it could be a dynamic location. So we have to mention the star.var where it contains the dynamic location of this particular the file it is. Now we have to go to this option here. After that, we have to go to the option name. It is called as a add containers. Now we have to go to the add containers. We have to choose that the which one we have to go, whether you have to go with Tomcat or Glossfish or JBoss. So we have to go with the Tomcat here. I installed the 9 version. It is asking about the credentials. Let me save the credentials now. Click on the Jenkins. Now here I have to save the credentials in my Jenkins. My Jenkins credentials is admin. The password also I had to save now. Go to here. I just need to provide the Tomcat credentials. You see that? Click on the add it is. Now once you add the credentials, you see that now we have to provide Tomcat URL. It doesn't matter about where you configured your server. Only thing is we have to provide what is the URL of your server. Let me go to this particular local host called 8080. This is where I configured my server. Now, if you come down, we have to click on apply and save. Now, what exactly you are doing it is now, look at this architecture. So we have the software development team. When they have pushed the code, we have to store the code in the GitHub repository. We are checking the code quality. We integrated the Maven for buildability. We are installing the Jenkins server and we are trying to deploy the application in the Tomcat server. All the stages we are doing right now. Now, how we can do it these steps right now? Let me go to here. Now click on this apply and save it is. Now I don't want to run this pipeline manually. Okay. See now whenever the software development team push the code into this particular repository, my pipeline has to trigger automatically. This is actually what has to be doing. Now we'll just trigger manually. We need to wait for 3 more minutes otherwise. Let me go to the option called as a build now. So when I click on the build now, you see what is going to be happening. See, whenever the build is happened, we have to go to the console output and we have to check that what is going to be happening. The first, it is going to clone the source code. After that, is going to look at here from the beginning. I'll just show you that. We can say I started manually. You see that user is started manually. See, whenever you install Jenkins any mission, if you install the next mission, it is going to be installed in the var lib Jenkins directory in the workspace. If I go to C drive, I would say look at my workspace, which is creating one workspace in the particular C drive under the .jenkins workspace. It is nothing but my pipeline name. We can see that it is going to clone the git remote repository. the URL, whatever we have given. After that, it is trying to identify what is the latest commit. And it is trying to identify the font XML file. Based on the font XML file, you see that it is going to download dependencies, everything, and it is got build it is. Now, once it is built now, you see that it is going to check the code quality. So it is identifying that the SoanrQube version which server you installed. And if you come down, we can look at my screen. It is going to be check the code quality. So it is loading all the plugins, everything based on the source code, which is available in your repository. Here it is where my report is available. If I go to my SoanrQube server, previously I don't have any reports, right? But now if you look at my screen, there is reports where I can go to here. I think not this one. Let me go to this. So go to the issues now. See, there is a one project got created automatically. The project name called as Maven Hype Application. Now here, see, even though there are 33 bugs are there, it's showing about cost past. How come it is? That means if there is any no code got pushed, it is showing here. As of now, the overall code, whatever we are having, we perform the code quality. You see that this is what we are going to get it. 33 bugs we are having, but it's showing about all past. That means this is look at here. If you find out any vulnerabilities, it is going to be failed. Or if you look at this, there is a matrix basically. There is a matrix. The based on this matrix only, it will tell you that whether your project is got passed or not. So we'll see later. When you go to issues now, you see that all the issues. So as we discussed about, whenever it is not identified that it is not matching the rule, it is going to marked as a fail. It is error. See, we have all these errors right now in this particular repository. So in the project we have 33 errors we are having. Look, we have the 33 bugs. All are the minor errors. That is the reason only it is not affecting my application. If it is a critical errors, if it is a blockers, vulnerabilities. So definitely vulnerabilities means it has some security threats for your application. Hackers can hack your application to the vulnerabilities. So we have to be careful on that. Now look at my screen, it is showing about vulnerabilities. It's showing about 0 it is. So we have done this code quality. Now look at my screen, it is done with build also. Where is the build is happened? When I go to my screen, you see that this is nothing but where the application got built. If I go with this particular location, it is target folder. Okay. So when I go to now, click on this. I don't know why it is not running. Go to my location manually. Let me go to here. I go to the program data. Let me go to the program data. And here go to the Jenkins now. If you go to .jenkins, we have to go to the workspace. Under workspace, look here, the pipeline name. You have this target folder. Here we have the artifact. This is nothing but my artifact. The entire source code, you think it is got packaging up. Now, if you just go to your Tomcat server, you see that application got deployed or not. Now, when I go to my Tomcat server, where it is, yeah, click on the manager app. I'm going to access my application manager console. Now here we can see that there is a one application which is deployed. It is called Maven App application. If you click on this one, you are able to access your application. So this application which I deployed into the Tomcat server, see that I'm able to accessing right now. So if it is I deployed in the cloud server, I could give the access. Since it is I have deployed in my local machine to the Tomcat server, I can't able to give the access. See, every time when the software development team has pushed that code, let's for example, let me go to here. I'm just going to push something inside my code it is. See, for example, I'm just going to add one line, DevOps demo, the CICD pipelines. CICD pipelines. Here I have to go to the click on the commit changes. Now click on this commit changes here. You see that there is something it is going to be committed into my GitHub repository. And if you look at my screen, there is only how many builds it is got happening right now. There is only one build. If you wait for 3 minutes, it is going to trigger the second build. Because my commit is happened, it is going to scan the whole repository. And it is going to fetch the latest commit ID. And it is going to, again, it is going to perform all the steps, whatever we have done it is. So this is how we have to create the CI/CD pipelines. But when you start the actual codes, we'll see that how we can write the scripting part. Okay. Understood? Clear, everyone? Anyone have any questions?